Greetings, beloveds, and welcome back. Holy Spirit said we only need one deck for this session. We're going to go back into the Rose Oracle for today and take a little bit of a break, perhaps even for a couple of days from a new earth, and explore other avenues and modalities of storytelling throughout this week. We're also going to be telling a little bit of a different love story in this session, as the context is going to be a bit different than it has been. In the last two that we already did previously, well, most recently, with this deck. And it's important to focus on agape love. Love in all things, in all ways. Always. Source, Holy Spirit, I call upon you to honor my last command invocation of embodiment. I call upon Source and Holy Spirit, as well as my angels, ancestors, and ascended masters, to join in this session. Only to be accessible through Holy Spirit, otherwise access denied. So it is, so it is, so it is. Here we go. Back into the love flow. Wow, that flew right at the camera. Interesting. We're going to make a full pass and meet in the middle to some degree here. All right. Yeah. Wow. That was the crowning that flew right at the camera like that. Wow. And in our immediate orbit, in terms of this love story, we have the wild rose. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness. Untamed. So let's see here with these two combined. The crowning really wanted to be in our orbit, so we'll take it. All right, so let's see here. This is a rebirth, as well as a seat at the table set by the divine as we embrace our authenticity, and continue to do things our way. But this does not mean with the exclusion of Source and Holy Spirit, of course. So, let's see what the guidebook has to say about these two cards a bit more. Certainly, when I see untamed, I don't really think of like a loose cannon whatsoever. More like the rawness of our soul's truth and our true being. Crossing thresholds at this time. But not as a rebel. Except perhaps in the sense of like the old self, somewhat wanting to play a bit of tug of war with the higher version of ourselves. This rebirth that has been imminent and in our orbit for quite some time. Collective, the authenticity of you is crowning at this time. $142. One who knows their true nature, unique nature, and wants you to remember yours too. Know that what makes you wild makes you free. What's kept us contained is what has been causing us harm. Our diverse, unique nature is what's needed now more than ever. An invitation to do what would make us feel more free. To trust in the very thing that makes us stand out. We were never meant to grow in a perfect, cultivated way, or bloom in exact unison with someone else. Never meant to be captive or controlled. Be who you came here to be. Beautiful. I free myself of what keeps me captive. I allow the unique wildness within me to be free. Beautiful. We are freeing ourselves, beloveds. And when I say beloveds, sir, ma'am, it is not a scam. Page 74 for the crowning. Initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, and a seat at the table. A time when the flower knows that it can no longer remain in the protective constraints of the bud. Trust in the birthing energy and surrender to the unknown of the bloom. Beautiful. Transitions from the water world of the womb to a whole new one on earth. Doesn't that sound like almost too good to be true, like new adventure of some kind? It could be any kind of adventure, really. These love stories don't necessarily have to be like completely romantic in nature. Rolling contractions. I'm sensing that the collective has been a bit of an omnivore lately, kind of waning and waxing. In one moment, you're like a bit more extra, and then another time you might be a little more intro. But with this expansion and contraction, what I see here is like a pumping or like a pulse. And with each pulse, what is being manifested is also going into more of an expansion, like blowing up a balloon to a degree. The more you pump into it, the more it expands. In this case, the story is of love. Agape love, beloveds. Unconditional. As unfathomable as it may seem. Birthing something and deep inside knowing the only way to surrender to the initiation is to surrender to the innate power within. Trust in that. Surrender to what's wanting to be born through you, not another, through you. Life is always trying to initiate us into even more of who we truly are. What a beautiful story unfolding. Morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, and a positive outlook. Wow. A fresh start, but guess what else was right next to it? The reunion. This comes first, and we can't skip that step. Otherwise, we won't be on the frequency necessary to become more magnetic for this. And this covers a few different areas. Our own soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendships. A positive outlook and a fresh start. And no more static, collective. in its place is that clarity. Beautiful. Let's turn this around for you, beloveds. Let's turn this around for you. Yes. Morning dew on the wild rose. Ooh, that sounds like that would be like a beautiful poem or lyrics. Morning dew on the wild rose. The reunion over the crowning and the rebirth. Beautiful. Let these energies marry for a moment. Beautiful. Ooh. It's interesting that I called our ancestors. Well, I called ancestors to the table, and the last card to come out is the grandmothers. Remembering your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. So, I called them in and they showed up. Let's give them front and center. But we're still going to share about the morning dew on the wild rose. First, clarity, a fresh start for this wild rose. The story is getting exciting. Yes. Morning dew. Page 92. That rhymes. Morning dew, page 92. Anywho, moving along. Interesting with the timing where I'm at. A special moment when the day is new and the sun is still young. When we too are given the opportunity to begin again. Alright. Already my earbud is beeping at me. So we're going to switch these out. Oh, this one's beeping at me as well. Give me just one moment. Okay, issue resolved. Now, if we could only get to the bottom of these love stories with even just a smidgen more ease to resemble the ease of that transition. Goodness gracious. Healers from all corners of the earth believe in the incredible healing quality of the morning dew, as do I. I have gone out in the morning before sunrise and walked in the wet grass from the dew and just let that feeling travel all the way up my body and show reverence to Gaia, Tara, Earth. And also to myself for prioritizing that peace of mind and grounding all at the same time. There's something relevant to that. Walking barefoot on the morning dew. Oh my gosh. No joke. It's on there somewhere. Where is it? Right there. Barefoot on the morning dew. When it's cool but not cold. I can't stand being cold. Sometimes I know I have to just deal with it, but like when I turn my shower all the way down to cold at the tail end and just stand there and let that freezing water pour on me. Reset. Reset. Yes. Lucky enough to meet the morning in this way, we too may be blessed by the special healing liquid that carries the secret essence of both the earth and the entire universe within it. The morning dew. The message that clarity is on its way, a new start, and a change of perspective. Shifts are coming. The future is looking renewed, hopeful, positive, and bright. Keep focusing on your ideal outcome and trust in the presence of the potent morning dew. I'm open to receiving the potent clarity and shifts of the morning dew. I'm open to seeing this situation with new eyes. Beautiful. Okay. The reunion. I already know this one is a goodie. Page 108. 8 plus 1 is 9. It's a 999 kind of vibe. Page 109. I just saw 99. Beautiful. I release any old programming of competition, opening myself up to relationships and collaborations. It is safe for me to trust. It is safe for me to speak clearly. It's safe for me to set clear boundaries and collaborate. Beautiful. Coming in waves and with joint soul missions. We were never meant to walk alone. But we've bloomed bravely regardless of what others are doing. Not to be threatened when others do this alongside us. People who at a soul level choose to walk alongside us. But for them to find you, you must first let them see you. There's that frequency I was speaking on in the beginning, beloveds. You have to be emitting it. So, open your heart and mind to collaboration rather than competition. Reveal yourself to the world. confirmation that one or more people are entering your life. It could be a sign that you're being called to co-create on a project with someone you already know. But also opening ourselves up to relationships where the collective uplifts one another. Zero competition. Instead, we support and empower one another. Beautiful. We're now going to take a look at the grandmothers. Bringing them a bit closer now. At the center of this energy, remember your roots. Remember your roots. I'm remembering mine, and the more I do, the more I just want to go bury myself in nature, but not underground, above ground, and just get absorbed in nature and bloom. Page 78. All the way back to go forward. Call upon the sacred strength and support of ancestors who did not forget to be with us now. Acknowledge the difficulties and what's coming up to be healed. And do so for all who are yet to come. Beautiful. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Holding within her the rememberings of civilizations past. Reaching back millions of years and holding the codes of creation. Calling on us to remember the wisdom of our ancestry long before colonialism severed so much that's sacred before the rise and fall of dark empires and entire civilizations. The origins of humanity, playing our part in this time of healing, to heal and integrate what we've inherited in our ancestral line. It's not personal. There are changing healing times that we came here for, to reconnect and reach all the way back to the original mother. See our role as the ancestors of those who are yet to come. Remaining grounded and rooted in our life so that no matter how rocky things get, we always know we are home. Beautiful. Trust the weavings. Trust the weavings. By trusting the weavings, I looked into our immediate orbit yet again, just to peek, but also to surrender to the now. And just not obsess over what is to come. Alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. Wow. Right behind that, we have the sacred union. Beloved within inner and outer relationships. And behind that, we have Sophia. Divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, and density. And the fertile void. Okay. Holy Spirit is saying to put the fertile void up on display. And we're going to take a look at 3 cards we have here already in our immediate orbit. It's already here. 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 3131 on the timer. Just take a look at that angel number while we also lay these down. The Rose of Venus, Sophia, and the Sacred Union. Interesting combination of cards we have here back to back in our immediate orbit. Letting go of self-doubt, hope and optimism, growth and transformation, passions and talents, and a sign of new beginnings, a surge of creative energy encouraging us to embrace positive changes. Wow. Okay, so let's see the positive changes that are coming in with the Sacred Union, Sophia, and the Rose of Venus. Interesting combo. We're going to begin with Sophia, actually, where it all begins with the Sophia. 124. Oh, I opened up right to it. Wild. 3323 out of the timer. There's more of those 3s. Wisdom. Thought to have been a force present at the time of creation and often presented as a woman. This turns our patriarchal understanding of a sole male god responsible for creation on its head. In the book of Proverbs, Sophia says, I was present at the beginning of the creation, participating at the side of the Lord in the work of creation. Many scholars and art historians believed that the female figure beside God is Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling is a representation of Sophia. The overlapping of the spiral of the rose on this card is a mystical representation of Sophia as holder of the divine plan. The intelligence that tells the rose when to open and the planet how to spin also exists within you. This card brings with it a message to trust the intelligence that brought you here. Have faith that the blueprint of your destiny is already known. Trust the blueprint within. Allow the seeds of your destiny to guide you. And the transmission is, I trust in the divine plan. Activate the intelligence within my cells and unlock and act on my most expansive destiny now. So it is. What's coming in further into this love story, we have the sacred union. Beloved within, but also inner and outer relationships. Sacred union begins within. Beautiful. Sacred union. Page 118. Relationships are how we grow. They cradle and stretch us through connection and division, love and hurt, compassion and separation. They invite us to return again and again to the most important relationship we'll ever have, the one with ourselves. The sacred union that's been waiting within. I also spoke on that early in this video, and here it is. Beautiful. Yab yum. Yab yum, yab yum. Beautiful. But also sacred union through external relationship that is always an invitation to deepen the union within. An invitation to deepen connection with the beloved within, even our most challenging relationships, especially the most challenging ones. Being invited to grow through relationships, like we're being tested, stretched, finding ourselves longing for something external, yet an invitation to deepen the connection within, to embrace yourself fully, treating yourself like the most precious person on the planet. The more embraced you feel, the easier it is to embrace others. How can we embrace ourselves more? Beautiful. I'd say through the rose of Venus. My favorite card in the deck. Alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. The Rose of Venus. 112. Oh, there it is. What's no longer in alignment with who you're being called to be. We feel changed by gazing into the spiral of the rose, the golden ratio, a new set of petals growing. A sacred order to all things. A tendency to overanalyze and overthink can get us out of alignment with nature and thus life. Oh, that's like a blow to the breadbasket. Thanks, Holy Spirit. Trust in the tapestry of your life, your ever-changing nature, and be dedicated to living a life that's deeply aligned. Looking at anything that doesn't feel in alignment, oh boy, have we already been doing this, because this is like the 4th time now this card has been out. Beautiful. There is this expansion occurring. Okay, we're being guided by our true loved ones to realign with the flow, almost as if we don't care anymore. But know in our heart of hearts that what we see as love in its purest, most sacred form is all already here. Oh my goodness, it's already here. It's already here. It's already here. Now let's take a look at this fertile void. Inner winter, rest, patience, potency, and secret beginnings. Already unfolding. Bits of it are even unfolding that are unbeknownst to us at this time. Beautiful. The fertile void. The fertile void. $76. How can you surrender into the greatest mystery? This is a very auspicious card holding the potent golden seeds of a new beginning and the aftermath of an end. Called to have patience and enter a state of deep rest, repair, regeneration, and acceptance. To let a part of our lives, or even who we once were, metaphorically die in order to seed, sprout, bud, and bloom again. A letting go. So this letting go process is still afoot. But so is this new beginning. It's like it's all happening simultaneously. Anywho's. a grief of mourning involved, a death of self or what once was. The ending of things that were once important, relationships, jobs, identities, ways of being. The fertile void asks that we honor endings to begin again. It's a crucial part of growth, and new isn't possible without it. Seeing the golden seed cradled in the dark, fertile womb of the soil. Easy to mistake this phase of growth as one where nothing much is happening, but beneath the surface of the winter soil, things have never been more active. Interesting that I chose to wear a multitude of colors, but under a dark top. Somewhat matchy-matchy with this fertile void. And that was not intentional. I promise you that. Goodness gracious, what a synchronicity. So what's happening here in this love story is a phase of mourning, but also giving reverence, honoring the endings, and then beginning again. Seeing the golden seed cradled in the dark, the fertile womb, this phase of growth, this phase of initiation, renewal, and rebirth. Going through a period of inner winter, not literal winter, inner winter. Metaphorically going underground by coming to a standstill and allowing ourselves to recover and rest. There's that mention of that standstill yet again. Not realizing it, but this is the most important part of our growth. Taking faith and surrender to do it. Trusting the sureness of the soil. The new is being woven without you having to micromanage every move. This is a very tender but also powerful time, beloveds. I'm going to have to read that again. Trust the sureness of the soil. The new is being woven without you having to micromanage every move. Trust the sureness of the soil. Be cradled by the great mystery. This is a very tender, powerful time. And interestingly enough, my body is humming and vibrating as we draw that transmission to a completion. Wow. I'm also feeling guided to draw that message to a close at this time for now, and embody that patience, embody that stand still, because there's more letting go, literally and figuratively speaking, including letting go of that message of letting go of self-doubt from 3131 on the timer earlier. But also growth and transformation, and most importantly, that new beginning with the number one. An influence with spiritual meaning backing it, influencing our love lives, twin rays, our careers, and so many other significances at this time. So just be still in knowing that at this time, in doing nothing, everything gets done. 5050 on the timer. That angel number is going to be our closing message. 5050. Change, growth, personal freedom, ability to realize that we have freedom, our life decisions are ours to make, change, balance, personal growth, but also there are more key takeaways here. Trusting in the process, using our intuition to continue navigating life's challenges with resilience, but also this alignment with the divine grace surrounding our life journey. Transformation, personal freedom, a thirst for adventure as part of our spiritual journey. New beginnings with infinite possibilities, harmony, balance. Also resonating with committed relationships. The beginning of new relationships and a time of change. If you've been stuck in a rut, expect a shift that will revitalize your love life. Positive mindset, nurturing positive emotions, crucial in forming and maintaining these healthy relationships. Keeping this nurturing and deepening the bond. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A powerful connection, emotional, spiritual, and physical, bringing joy. But remember, with new journeys also come new challenges. Love has its challenges. We're being encouraged to embrace these changes, but also there's the importance of being flexible and adapting to these changes. There's shifts in responsibilities, new, vocationally and in all other forms of love, including growing more and more in love with what we do. Positive choices and embracing life's ethical values and new beginnings. Taking up in professions like life coaching, spiritual healing, counseling, artistry, writing, entrepreneurship, becoming instructors of some form of etiquette, typically some kind of spiritual, emotional etiquette that will lead to financial freedom, independence, but not over independence That's Jezebel's spirit, being overly independent and cocky about it. Relying on our abilities, not fearing change. See, yes, one of the weaknesses of 50-50 is overdependence that could hinder growth. And focus more on self-reliance, positivity, flexibility, adaptability, as these new possibilities for these types of roles in our lives, which never make us who we truly are, but each of us do have these different roles that we play that also bring in more gratitude, positivity, resilience, affirmations, building up that resilience, knowing that life's twists and turns may not always be easy, but we can navigate them resiliently. Thank you so very much, Multiversal Soul. Familia, for tuning in with much gratitude and appreciation from my heart chakra to yours, brightest of blessings.